Hey guys, it's Joey, Value TCG. Hope everyone is having a good day, good week. So today we are going to go over some cards that have been moving up in price, and there's definitely a number of them these days, it seems like. Obviously, on the screen here you can see that all six leaders have been revealed for OP11. And as a result, we're starting to see some price movement. I think we'll probably see more as this is released in Japan. So whenever that happens, there's going to be a lot more experimentation. But we're starting to see kind of the beginning stages of that. And I think most people are really excited, seemingly, about the Kobe leader. Um, I think Navy is maybe one of those underutilized metas or underutilized classes. So as a result, as Bandai usually does, they tend to kind of rotate in and out what could work and by giving support to different parts of the game. So we're starting to see that with Navy in in droves, really. And before I get into all of the cards that have moved up in price, if you guys could like, comment, and subscribe, appreciate everyone for doing that. So first and foremost, Tashigi, starter deck 19. I typically don't go over starter decks, but these things have been popping, right? Like, look at this. Like, the price for this card used to be under $1. Now it's $3, over $3. And if you guys remember, a lot of these starter decks, they had a PRBO1 pack in them. So people ended up buying out these starter decks and then just opening them up to see if they can get the I don't know the great hits that come from the PRBO1 set. So as a result, we have a lot of cards that are opened. Sometimes people, in the earlier starter decks, they'll just buy the starter deck, keep it as a part of their collection. But because there was that PRBO1, a lot of these starter decks got bought out. And we are starting to, and that's why, you had so much supply. But even then, right, like as the meta started switching in, people are just eating up the supply that we're seeing. One of my contacts had 50 something copies of this, and somebody bought all of them out at once. So go figure. Sengoku also moving up in price, now over $2.50. Wow, after these two copies, we're moving into $3 territory, so that's very, very good. Um, on release, this was almost 70 cents. Tashigi, this one is starter deck '06. Same thing, but I mean, this one, I guess, in December really moved up. But even then, the prices have held. Garb, I sold a couple of copies of this one. Look at that spike. I totally forgot I had listed this. It wasn't even separated from my bulk. I had to kind of go dig this up, but this went from, yeah, look at this. At the very lows, 73 cents, now $4. And let's just kind of take a look at the flow through here. Decent number of flow through on a daily basis, yeah. And if you guys remember, Starter Deck '06, they did reprint this, but they didn't reprint that many of these. So I'm not surprised if, people believe that this could be part of the meta as a theory crafting and deck building, that this card is pulled out of, this card is starting to kind of move. And, I wouldn't be surprised if prices go up even higher from this point if it ends up being a critical part of the meta. Sengoku, this one I believe is used in Dofi, but that's why it's been a couple dollars. I've just kind of stumbled upon the fact that this is so expensive, so did just want to share that with you guys. Marshall D Teach. Whether it's because I work in finance or just because I get really excited when I see prices accelerate, just as part of my personality. But this, going to seeing a card that goes from 19 cents to uh, over a dollar 75, $3 shipped for a single copy, and this is a common in ST17. That's really interesting to me. So watch out for this. Lin Lin, we talked about the impacts of using Lin Lin previously. It has to do with, let's see if I can pull this up right now for you guys. This leader, the Luffy leader, where she could be, I guess, cheated out using the Sanji card. So we'll see if this card is consistently pricey as we get closer to OP11. Um, or I think really we'll probably see whether like this will either move up or down after the release of OP11 in Japan. I mean, those guys time travel, right? They're 3 months ahead of us, and they get to determine what works or what may not work. I wonder why Japan kind of does that. You know how Pokemon has started to um, really try to get closer in release dates between Japan and the US. We're not really seeing that here in One Piece, and it's just strange because there's been work that's been done, research that's been done into printing runs, and they kind of print everything all at once, right? I wonder if it's just for the tournaments. They don't want to, I guess, overload tournaments with capacity or with demand. Japanese judges or whatever it is, and Bandai, they want to kind of manage their events in a slow, progressive way. Maybe that's why they're trying to stagger the releases a little bit, but we definitely benefit here in the U.S., right? We don't have to like buy random cards typically because we can kind of see what's already working in Japan. So it is nice. Flambe, everyone knows Flambe, right? Everyone knows she is an expensive rare. It's an EBO1, which has not been reprinted to my knowledge. But she's moving up even more. So if you've held on to her for whatever reason, look at these guys, right? They had 18 copies, 12 copies. I mean, this is crazy. This is like a couple $100, or $170-ish in just this card. Yeah, so if you have a bunch of these copies, and for some reason you still haven't pulled her out of your bulk, now's the time. And then Rebecca Dressrosa, this one's moved up too. I know you can see there's a couple copies for just 20 something cents, but this one had pretty much a significant buyout. Yeah, look at that, 243 items sold at $3. And you can still find a number at $2. So if for some reason you have a lot of these lying around, OPO4 bulk, definitely think about selling her. Monkey D. Luffy, Gorilla Mode. So this one has also moved up. I mean, it was a couple dollars, spiked up to $10, right? You kind of miss the boat a little bit if you haven't sold him, but $6 is pretty reasonable, $7. So yeah, think about pulling him out. And then Kaya has always been one of those cards that's been expensive. You just see kind of, yeah, like I love this 1 year chart because it just spikes, comes down, spikes, comes down. Now it's on its way back up. So it just depends on how people want to kind of structure their decks going into the next season or next release. Tell me if you guys, when you're building your decks, do you keep your decks forever? Or do you, like from, let's say, 2 to 3 sets, every couple of sets or so, do you just sell everything and like rebuild your deck. Let me know how you guys approach it because I just kind of mostly keep everything unless I know for a fact that I do not have time to get back into the game, which has been kind of an issue recently, to go into an LGS and play. But do you guys just kind of keep your decks, or keep your decks and cards, valuable cards, kind of lying around, and in case you want to go and play again, or do you kind of, you know, structure it to where you're selling some as you're rotating into different parts of the meta? Let me know how you guys are approaching this. I'd be curious to know. And then Perona, she's in Dofi. I didn't know that this was an. I totally like, for some reason, going through the different cards in my mind, this is the box topper card, right? I'm like, oh, it's a box topper. Obviously, it's $5. That makes sense. $6. No, guys, this is just the uncommon copy from Romance Dawn. So, I mean, if you guys open some of the treasure boosters and you're able to get a couple of her, I mean, couple of her, that is at least one Taco Bell or one Chipotle run. So that's all I'm saying. Pretty good. And look at that price movement, under $1, 50 cents, 50 cents a year ago, $6 if shipped, plus tax, so maybe a little bit higher than that. Wow, that's expensive card. And as you guys know, I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? OPO1, they printed a number of those booster boxes over the last year just for kind of tournaments. You weren't really able to find many at LGSs, and um, uh, but at like events or card shows where Bandai shows up, they had OPO1 available, and then you had the Treasure Boosters reprint, which definitely satiated a lot of the demand. Um, so, but even with that, we just didn't really see that many cards printed for OPO1. And also partially why, Killer from OPO1 is now $2. This is also an uncommon. So think about, yeah, look at this. 23 cents. Wasn't even on anyone's radar. Man, I'm going to have to dig through some serious bulk here because I don't even know where I put my OPO1 stuff. Anyways. All right, well, that's it from me. And let's just kind of close this video up with one last thing. Isn't that beautiful, guys? OPO1 is back up to $380 for a booster box. Let's see how the flow through is. Oh, well, can't really see for some reason. This has been kind of glitching out for me. But yeah, a couple of sales yesterday, a couple of sales the day before, 3 sales, or 2 sales the couple days before that. So definitely a slow trickle of sales, but this is still very good, very impressive. I think OP is back. I think there was a part of the year where One Piece just didn't do that well. A lot of people moved over to Pokemon, back to Magic the Gathering. Um, but, it seems like interest is coming back in a big way, and I am all for it. I'm super, super, super excited that this is, things are looking on the up and up for all of us who are financially, emotionally invested. So I'm super stoked. Hopefully you guys are as well. Anyways, hope you guys are having a good day, good week, and I will talk to you guys next time. And let me know what you guys think of these cards, and whether you guys are, how you guys are going to be structuring your decks going into the next release. What do you guys plan on playing? Let me know. Thanks, y'all. Talk to y'all soon.